Going on? How you guys doing tonight? Before we get into it, let's do a quick audio check and video check. I do not see my screen yet. Usually has a little while here. Okay, here we go. What's going on, guys? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the live show tonight. We are going to talk about pearls and flake. I also have to log into my survey center. Give me a second. And then I will reveal and share with you guys what the results were from the survey that you guys filled out. Most of you guys filled out the survey. Thank you so much. We got 500 of you guys fill out the survey. And I asked little less than 500, 489 it looks like, filled out the survey that I sent out last week about pearls and flakes. So here are the results, just so you guys know. All right, so right before we get back into this, I just want to go ahead. It's getting hot in here. I want to go ahead and it seems like the audio is good. So if you guys want to just quickly type in where you're from, and I'll do some shout outs really quickly. Where you're from and how many times you've been on the call. I see none of your business. He's been on many times. What's up, Andy? Joe? What's going on? Type in the chat really quickly, guys, where you're from. And if you're a VIP member, type in VIP. And also some of the results that you've gotten from being a VIP. You guys learning anything or what's going on? Give me some heads up. Also, for you guys just getting on, give me a quick thumbs up really quickly. And Kyle, I got your email, VIP member, and I have my stud gun right here and my puller. I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. Okay, so I did get that. And if you guys are VIP, you can email me questions and we will cover your questions live on the show. That's something I like to do for the VIP guys. So we got, let me go back. We got Wisconsin, VIP, Jonathan Swindle. We got Gary, what's going on? Blairsville. We have Eric, California. We got Tim, what's going on, Tim? West Virginia. We got Albuquerque, 505. Stitch, VIP member, 4th video. Looking forward to the Pearl video. Awesome. Hearing you loud and clear. Wichita, Kansas, been on twice. Michigan, San Francisco. Watching from Wisconsin, first time. Arkansas, 10 plus. Awesome, Andy. Phoenix, Arizona, Australia, Ohio, Mississippi, Oklahoma. Big Tampa, big fan. Awesome. Chicago, VIP, learning a lot. Denver, Colorado. I can't see. Wilson, try refreshing your screen maybe. Hi, new to your YouTube channel. Awesome, Greg. Kevin, VIP, Hawaii, 6 times. Nova Scotia, Canada. Edmonton, VIP in the house. Awesome. Thanks for your knowledge, Alex. Alex says, thanks for your knowledge. You're welcome. You're welcome. First time live. Thanks, man. Great videos, man. Watching from Ireland. Sergio, Reno, VIP. Wales, UK. If it wasn't for you, I would have never painted my custom VW camper. You're awesome. Okay, we also got Trey from North Carolina. Tremene, North Carolina. Awesome, guys. Thomas Williams, North Carolina. Okay, let's get into it. Phoenix, Arizona. All right, so quickly, you guys, just let me get your attention here, okay? And if you feel otherwise, comment and let me know. Montreal, VIP member in the house. What's up, Fernando? Okay, so here we are. I'm going to be looking in my survey results, and it says, here's the question. I asked you guys, have you ever painted with pearls and flakes before? 24% of you guys out there said yes. 49% said no. 25% of you said no, but want to try it soon. So there you go. Half of you said no. 75% of you said no. And half of you are interested in painting with pearls and flake. And I'm going to show you how to do that once it starts getting warmer here at the headquarters, because I don't do a lot of painting when it's winter time. I just don't get into it too much. So that's why I'm enjoying these Q&As with you guys. Okay. Most top popular pearl colors. We got the number one popular color that a lot of you guys want is ghost white pearl. White pearl. You guys want white pearl. Number two is blue, like a deep blue pearl. Okay? And then we got silver ice pearl. And then we got Ferrari red pearl. And then after that, silver flake, midnight blue flake, red flake, and silver flake. So that's the order. The number one color was ghost white pearl you guys wanted. I never would have expected that. But I do like white pearl as well, but that's usually good on white finishes, white colors. You know, it's good to put white pearl over white finishes. You don't want to put white pearl over darker finishes like red or black. You know, it really changes the color like that. So just so you know, okay? Here we go. Will you guys be interested in a pearl starter pack if I put together like a little package of pearls where you can get, you know, 67% of you guys said yes. 32% said no. Do you need more education, instructional videos on how to spray pearls and flake and how to get the most amazing finishes? 93% of you said yes. And when it comes to, there's a little area here where it said, do you have any suggestions? If we get into the real live Q&A part of it, well, where you get to type in your comments. We have a couple of good comments here that I wanted to reply to, and we'll just take care of that really quickly. Okay, here's a good one. Pearls I've not tried, but I like to, but I've tried, I haven't tried yet. Okay, I can't understand that guy's question. Do you always have to use a pearl for base coat before you put the main color, or can that be part of the paint? It can be part of the paint, but you have to put more additive in it, more pearl in it. Where is my pearl? Right here. Here's a sample pearl, okay, dry pearl. It's best to actually mix your pearl in the clear coat and spray it on top of your base, or use an inner coat, which is like a clear base coat. So you would shoot your, say you're painting a car red. So you would paint your base coat red. It could be a metallic, a little metallic, or a pearlish red, or a flat red, right? And then you could mix up a clear intercoat, which is a clear base coat, and then you would put your pearl in it, right? A tablespoon or whatever your mixture is. We can get more into that when I actually start mixing pearls up in front of you. And you would spray that, give that 2 coats or so. And then once that dries, you can put your clear coat on top of it, okay? And that's more for newbies and for people who just like to use intercoat, for people who like to go that way, because you get less chances of running and screwing up the job. If you mix pearl directly into your clear coat, pearl or flake directly into your clear coat, and you spray it, and if you have a run, that's when you're gonna have an issue. Are you guys understanding this so far? Great. All right, there's another question about tip sizes. Proper tip sizes for flakes. Okay, so if you're shooting jumbo flake, the big flake, okay, you want to use, you could spray out of a 1.8 to a 2.0 tip size to get that flake on the panel. Then you're going to want to resize down to a 1.4 to shoot your clear coat on top of it, okay? If you're doing micro sequence flake, super ultra mini flake, up to, you know, 0.008 size, then you could just use your 1.4 tip and shoot it right out of your gun just like that. You don't have to worry about it. But I would take the filter out of the neck of your spray gun. So you have your spray gun, you have your cup. In the middle, you can have a little filter. I would take that out. All right? And again, we're going to be getting into this step by step on video. I just wanted to go over some of the survey questions for you guys, so you guys kind of get an idea. I'm just getting into this. Okay. Okay, this is a pretty good question about spray booths. If you don't have a spray booth, what is the best temperature and how does humidity play a role? Okay, so the best painting temperature, the best ideal, 75 to 85 degrees. That's a good painting temperature. Okay, I wouldn't paint anywhere below 60 degrees. So if it's 60, 65, you could paint. You're not going to run into issues. Humidity, I don't think humidity really plays a lot. The only thing humidity does is give you a lot more condensation in your tank, in your air tank, and in your line. So you got to make sure you filter that out. So like in Hawaii, when I was painting a lot, you just got to make sure you drain your air compressor tank before you paint, and you have your proper water filter and your filter at your gun, and you really shouldn't run into any issues. If it's low humidity, then that's you're not going to have any issues at all. All right. Let's see. Okay, so how is everybody liking the chat so far? Did you guys learn a lot so far about what I just covered? You guys liking that? Okay, so I'm going to go back and go over some of your comments here. What's going on, Hank Scott? VIP North Carolina. I prefer frosted flake. My 350Z has white pearl, 5K paint job. Laugh my ass off, not my money. Stitchy, what color is your car? Is it white with white pearl? How much pearl? VIP George from Opoliosis. Wow, that's crazy. Yuppers, yes. Sup, Tony, outro. Okay, finally got it. Wilson here from Lancaster, Philadelphia. Is the difference between metallic and pearl, or are they both the same? Metallic and pearl. Pearl is totally different. Metallic is a lot more fine. Okay, metallic is like a fine metallic, basically. Pearl is ultra, 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 ultra fine. And I should have had it. Let me go to the garage quick and I'll show you really quickly. All right. First time, Bellevue. Oh, not Bellevue. Trey, I'm going to do a two-tone pearl and flat black. How would I spray and prevent a visible line that I can feel where a flat and clear coat meet? Two-tone pearl, flat, and two-tone pearl and flat black. Well, I don't really understand what you're trying to do there, Trey. You're going to have to give me some better explanation, because if you're putting, a two-tone paint and you're not burying it with clear, you're going to feel a line. There's no way around it unless you bury it with clear and then you color sand it and buff it flat. That's the only way to get it really flat where you don't feel it, unless you make your paint really thin on the edge. That's my only idea. All right, so here's the difference between pearls and flakes. So let me show you a sample of gold pearl and gold flake, just so you have an idea. Okay. Okay, so this is gold pearl. You can see how fine it is. I hope you could see that. Okay, super, super fine. It's like a powder. It's like baby powder. Have you guys ever seen baby powder? Right? And this is gold flake. Okay, so this is the difference. This is metallic. Okay, flake is like metallic. Pretty much same thing. Okay, metallic is flake. And then there's different size flake. This is actually a finer flake, okay, than this one. You can see the difference. Okay, so that's the difference. And there's a bunch of different sizes. And when we open up the brand new store, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna get really detailed into the sizes, into how to spray it, and everything in between. So it's gonna be super detailed once we launch the new store. You guys are really gonna love it. I'm gonna go so in depth about pearls, flakes, mixing, doing inner coats, everything. We're gonna make it so easy for you to understand and so easy for you to basically get the idea and customize whatever you want. So that's my goal with this. And I want to also supply you with an amazing quality pearl and flake that we are launching very, very shortly. You guys are going to love it. I tested the material out once, and it's just amazing, amazing stuff. And I think it's better than House of Color. That's, of course, I'm biased because it's we're launching it. It's our product. But I've painted with a lot of pearls and flake in my days, and this stuff is just so it mixes in so well with the clears. All right, I like the bass boat flake from the 70s. That's awesome, Jason Miller. That's some jumbo flake for sure. Jason, I'm spraying bass boat monster size this weekend. Hank Scott, what size tip are you using? Are you using a 2.0, 2.2 tip? What pearl is good over brown? If you're doing brown, I would use a similar brownish root beer color, like a root beer pearl, or some sort of brownish copper pearl would look good. But the thing is John, you're going to have to test because you never know. There are so many variations. There are hundreds of variations of brown base coat. So it's all going to depend. And then you can have, a bunch of different variations of brown pearl or copper pearl. So every variation, of course, I'm not going to be able to mix and spray every variation on earth for you guys, right? No way. That's ridiculous. But you guys are going to have to take chances and take risks and buy pearls and, mix and match and see what you think looks good. And that's what I did. And it's crazy because you always come out with something, unbelievably awesome. And sometimes it comes out like crap. Like I did Ferrari yellow on the motorcycle on the moped outside with what color pearl was that? Red pearl, Rosetta red pearl. And it came out to like an orange in the sun. It looks yellow out of the sun, but in the sun, it turns to like an orange. Pretty cool. Love your video. Say hey to my wife, Miranda. Hey, Miranda. 2.5 tip. Awesome. Awesome. Hank, have you already sprayed that yet or what? I would love to see some pictures of that. Send me some pictures. All right. So we got a question from Kyle earlier. He sent me some photos by email. All right. So Tim says, can you put blue flake in a silver metallic base to give a purple candy blue hue? Well, if you're doing a silver metallic base coat, right? It already has a silver metallic in it. I wouldn't put more flake on top of that because you're not going to get that look. If you want to get a purple blue hue, you're going to have to put pearl on that. So if you have a silver flake metallic base, you want to put a blue pearl or a purple pearl on top of that to give it that what you're looking for. Flake is something you don't want because flake is so jumbo. It's the glitter that flake is glitter. It's the glitter that pops out. Pearl actually changes colors. Pearl will change. If you put red pearl on a white paint job, you'll have like a red tint to that whole paint job. And it depends. You could put a little and it'll have like a pink hue, right? How did the plastic dip turn out? It came out amazing, actually. I put it on the car and it looks amazing. Let me go show you that quickly. Yeah, it came out really, really nice. I know I'm going back and forth because the garage, it's getting cold tonight. It's like, I don't know. It feels like it's 50. Feels like it's 50 in the garage. But let's go ahead. Let me show you the front end. It came out really good. I did both sides and I put it together. It came out really nice. Looks brand new. So we basically polished the front with quadruple O steel wool with the chrome, and we plastic dipped the grills, and I got a new emblem for the front. It looks really good. Car looks really sweet. So that's a quick update. You can't really see it with this camera, but there you go. All right, so we're gonna get into Kyle Scheib's quick little Q&A and about his stud gun. So VIP member emailed in, and he's having an issue, and then we'll get to that. Okay, so Kyle says he sent me a picture, and he said he got his. So this is my stud puller. Okay. All right. He basically broke off this piece inside of the stud gun. It's like stuck inside here, right? In this wheel, in this area. So what I would do, Kyle, if you're watching, hopefully you're watching, okay, is when you put this on like this, you have to push it this way, right, to lock it, right? So you could pull out. It's hard for me to demo this, okay? So you're gonna have to try to get this wheel and kind of knock it this way, right? Get a screwdriver from here and kind of whack it this way, open, and then you're gonna have to get in there with something small, a small screwdriver sideways or something, and pry it out. That's the only thing you could do. Okay, and I guess you were pulling way too hard. You don't want to pull so hard that you break off the tip in there. I've actually never done that before. I've never broken it off before, okay? So that's number one. You take it off. You take it out of there, okay? And this is the lock, okay? So it has to be open. It's going to be open. Say this is glued onto the panel, welded onto the panel, right? You're going to push this in, right? You're going to push this down, and you're going to lock it. You're going to keep pressure on it. Watch the Godfather series videos, because that's when I'm teaching my Godfather how to use this thing properly. That was his first time too, okay? And you just basically pull, and you don't want to pull too much. And you also said you're having a hard time with the pins sticking to the panel. And I just took a look at your panel here. I'm actually looking at it right now. It looks like you have everything grinded fine. Okay, it's down to the metal. So what you have to do is, if it's a brand new welder, okay, it's going to be pretty clean. Okay, this should be clean. But if this gets dirty, I would hit it with 100 grit quick, or it doesn't matter. You can use a 320 grit to an 80 grit, whatever you have laying around the shop. Just make sure this tip is clean. Okay, and then you place your pin in there. All right, and then you want to make sure when you push this thing against the panel, okay, this has to go on your panel, and also this outer edge has to touch the panel. You have to push it down all the way in like this, right? So say you got your panel, okay, you got your panel, it has to be pushed in like this. Okay, then you pull the trigger. Okay, sometimes you could keep your hand on the trigger and push it, and it'll start to spark and it'll touch. As soon as you go like this, boom. As soon as you do this, right, it'll glow up, it'll start to glow up. Sometimes you don't feel it, it won't catch, but you just hold it, you squeeze the trigger, and you just shake it, move it on the panel like this, pushed, right? You move it on the panel like this, right? Hold the trigger, and you just, until it catches, and you're going to see some sparks around the outside. But once you get it, hold it, and it'll start to glow, and then you let go, and it's on. All right, you want to make sure to keep it on for at least 2 seconds so you get a good burn on it, so it really welds to the panel. Okay, if it's too light, then it's going to pop right off easily. You got to make sure you keep it on, boom, let it go. All right, you keep it on too long, you're going to burn a hole through it. All right, so it's just a matter of playing with the timing, and just don't keep doing the same thing over and over if it's not working, right? So if you do it and it pops off, keep it on a little longer, right? And then try it. If you do it, burn a hole, then that means you're doing too long. Do a little less. Do it a second less or a split second less. All right, then you get the hang of it. Okay, so once that's on, then you go ahead, then you grab your puller, you put your puller on it, and you pop it out. All right, so just keep cranking. That's all I could say. All right. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Okay, so let's see what Kyle said. Thanks for the info. I'm a noob. I have people asking me to paint the bumper on the car. What's a good price to give them? Um, if you're doing, it depends on how much work. How much work does it need? You know, it's hard for me to answer these questions when if it's just to sand and shoot a bumper, 250, 350 in that area. If you're doing, plastic repair on it, you're mending up a split or a crack on the side of the bumper and it's really bad, you could charge them as much as you could go from 350 to 450, and do a good job on it. It all depends. Painted and put on, that's good. You make yourself a couple $100. Probably, I mean, if you have all the paint material, shouldn't cost you more than $100. Should probably be like, if you have a gallon of clear left over, all you got to do is buy the base coat. Buy some cheap base coat, 30, $40, spray it, whack it, you got the clear. So for $50, you make 300, right? And take you a half a day, not even. I personally would find out what type of paint they want. You could do quickly, detailed, scar. Where'd you get your stud welder? Me? I got mine probably 15 years ago. I forgot. I think I got it from one of those tool trucks. What brand is this? We're actually going to start selling these. It's an H&S. It's an H&S Auto Shop, and we're going to start selling these at the new store. So the new store is going to be launching probably, if not early next month, mid next month. You guys are going to love it. We're going to have a ton of auto body products. We're going to have spray guns. We're going to have pearls. We're going to have more tools like this. And you guys are going to love the checkout experience. Working on that last week. Why not? I got it today from Godfather Video. Okay. It was my tip size. It's welding now. Was tip size. Okay, what brand is it? Any alternatives? Any alternative to a stud welder? Well, you got the glue guns, which are, I don't mess with them too much. And then you got the old school screw-in style. And then you got, they had all kinds of things at SEMA. Like a super high strength glue style. And then the guy, he was doing a demo in front of like 30 people. I was like right there in front of him. And then he glued these pins on the panel, right, on a painted surface. So it's basically, he was showing how you could take dents out of a painted panel with, it looked like those suction guns, the guns with the suction on the end, like get stuck on your head, right? There's one of those, you glue it on the panel. And you have this device, and then you could basically, you leverage it on both ends of the door and then you pull it out. And he got the dent out. Not really though, and then he had a hard time taking the glue off of the panel, started going crazy, and it started getting crazy. He started like getting his putty knife and scratched the paint a little. I was like, oh God, he started sweating. And I just left. I just had to leave. I couldn't see it. Kevin Hartman, is there a difference doing it on high strength steel? Doing what? Welding? I mean, it depends. I mean, this stuff is good for pulling out all dents on automotive panels. I don't know, what else you're trying to pull out, but any automotive truck, type of stuff, you're good. Clear coat peeling off. So yeah, you're fine. You just feather it, prime it, and base coat and clear coat it. You could charge 300 and probably make 250 if the paint's $50. Like if you have extra clear coat. I mean, you're going to need materials. So if you don't have any materials, you're probably going to end up spending maybe 100, 120 in material. But you'll have that. You're only going to use maybe less than a quart of clear, probably a pint and a half of clear for a bumper cover. So when that's 2 coats of clear, right? So you're going to have all that extra leftover clear, for next time. So when you're doing small jobs like that, I wouldn't mix up a lot of your clear because you're going to waste it. So if you're doing a bumper, I would probably mix, I don't know if it's a 4-to-1 or 2-to-1. I have no idea what kind of clear coat you're using. But, start off with maybe 16 ounces of mixed clear. And that should probably do it for your bumper. Color change. Do I have to sand all the original paint off? No, you don't. You could basically scuff it down, scuff everything down till it's flat matte looking, and then you could base right over it. Or if you're doing a color change and you want to do a custom, really, it really depends on the kind of job you want. It really depends. So, but you don't have to. You could actually base right over. You could base right over sanded base coat. Using the stud welder on high strength steel. Yeah, what size? What size steel? What gauge? Butch, looking for a good stud welder. Any suggestions? Thanks for the help. I would look into these guys. H&S, they make a pretty good, and they have another model called the Bumblebee. But it's a very good, inexpensive. You can pick them up for under 200. And this I've been using for over 15 years, and I've never had a problem. So, I mean, it all depends on your budget. You can get cheaper ones, more expensive ones. It all depends, But, I mean, I think, any one you get, if you take care of it, it probably lasts you. I just know newer cars have high strength steel and wondered if the stud would work on good on older cars. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Kevin. Yes, absolutely. I've used this on American muscle cars. When I was doing my Chevy Camaro back in 2002, that complete job I did, I was using this thing. I will buy once. I don't like cheap. Well, Butch, we're launching the new store next month, and I'm going to be selling these. But I don't know if you want to wait that long. So go do what you got to do. But I know this H&S brand is a pretty good brand. Hey, Tony, I have lacquer primer. Do I have to seal it before applying base and clear? Please answer. I'm looking to paint my car tomorrow. You don't have to seal it. No, you don't. You could put base right over lacquer primer. You're fine. You will be okay. Going from red to brown. Okay, I'm waiting to stock up from your store. I can't wait. Awesome, Butch. Thank you so much for the support. Just trying what I learned in the course. I also copied the Craigslist ad. I get around 3 to 5 calls a day. Learning as I go. Oh boy, I've made a couple of K. Wife don't like me in garage, but likes the extra money. Kyle, what are you doing? Are you doing auto body jobs from Craigslist, or are you buying and selling from Craigslist? Could you use aircraft plane stripper to remove paint off plastic vehicle? I don't know about that. You might eat into your plastic and eat up your plastic, buddy. I'm not sure about that. I've never tested it. I have a 1970 GTO. The clear coat on the nose is cracking. Well, basically sand it, feather it. Gary, Tony, do you have a video on how to paint two-tone color on my Dodge pickup? What color is painted first? I'm doing red top, silver bottom. Which color should be painted first? I would paint the silver, mask it up. I would do the silver because you're going to have your car. Look at this. This is a stupid design I did on this car a long time ago. So I would base, okay, so say this is your truck. I would base the whole side silver, go around it, okay, because you're going to do the bottom silver. Base the whole thing silver, okay, mask your line, cover it, okay, so you're going to mask down here of your truck, and then you spray your red, and then you take off the paper, and then you put two heavy or 3 heavy coats of clear on it. What you could do also is run a fine line pinstripe on it if you want to give it a design, and then clear over that. I've done that many times. So that even looks cool. And if you put enough clear on it, you're going to have to put 2 coats of clear on it. maybe even 3, and then you could still sand that line out and buff it so you could barely. You're gonna feel it a little bit, but it's gonna be in the paint, and it actually feels pretty cool. Like it has that little feel, but it's not a ridge feel. It's like a smooth bump feel, but it's like, but it depends. If you don't like that, you basically gotta flow coat it another 2-3 coats of clear after, and you could basically bury it. All right. Hope that gave you some ideas. Scott, Tony, new to auto body and painting, joined VIP lifetime. Awesome. Just taking on a father-daughter rebuild project on a 94 Prelude. What about compressors? Not looking for a big expensive one. Any ideas? Cost? Scott, if you're going to be painting a full car, I would really recommend getting at least the 60-gallon 5-horsepower size that puts out, as much CFM as you can get. 15 to 14 to 18 CFM pressure, out continuously is not bad. But in my shop here, I got no problems. I use a 60-gallon 5-horsepower. It puts up, it's enough. But if you're planning on doing small touch-up jobs only, you can get away with a 33-gallon. You could even paint the car with a 33-gallon, but you're gonna have to wait until the compressor catches up to give you more volume, then go around the car a little bit more. You just got to time it right. I've done it. It's not the best way to do it, but it can be done with a smaller tank and setup. I would check Craigslist. I would get a 240 volt, something that's heavy duty, not a 110. You could probably pick something up for under 500. Mine, I paid like 900 brand new, which is not bad. And they sell them cheaper. I mean, Campbell Hausfeld, you can get them for like $600 brand new. So that's not too bad, especially if you feel like you're going to be doing projects in the future, doing other projects around the house or whatever you're doing. It pays off in the future. And if, it's always nice to have a compressor full of air when you got to put air in your tires at home, right? For the auto guys anyway. Wetman, Tony recommends a company that will do a very high pressure wash that strips the paint. Can't remember the company. Costs around 200, I think you said. Yeah, I don't remember the company either. But I don't know if you want to do that on a plastic toy car. You're welcome, Gary. Tony, how to fix through burn spots when wet sanding? That's a tough one. It depends on where it is. Is it on a corner of your panel? Is it like, is it on the corner of your door, right? Or up in here somewhere, the corner, or is it right in the middle? Where is it? Because a lot of times, super hard to fix those. You can mix a little bit of clear coat, get a paintbrush and just brush over it and then sand it and buff it again. Sometimes just buff it. If it's a small area, just buff it and wax it and you really won't notice it. Every paint job, you might have a little flaw to it. Even at SEMA, I went to SEMA and, every car had a little something to it. There were a really select few cars that you looked at that were like nicely done. And that takes work. Sometimes people, they'll screw up on a buff job and they'll have to repaint the whole panel again, to really get it, to be a showstopper. Can I buy my paint from you? John, we are not going to be stocking paints, but we will be stocking clear coats and pearls and flakes, tools, spray guns and stuff like that. There's just so many varieties of colors of paint that I don't know if that's something I want to get into right now. Maybe in the future, as the store grows, but not right now, John. So that's my take on that. Is it okay to paint the black plastics of the car once I finish to paint the car? How do you make the plastic look good after all? Fernando, that's a good one. I usually do that on a lot of my jobs. I paint the black plastic. So you basically sand it with 400 grit, get it nice and smooth. Then you can spray something called a adhesion promoter. Okay, you can buy it in a spray can. You put a little adhesion, very light mist, so your paint sticks to it. and then you could base, you could actually prime it, or you could even base and clear right over it. So I've done that many times. And then some of those plastics, it has like an orange peely texture to it, right? So if you want to get rid of that, what I would do is put a 2K primer on it, let that dry, then you sand it flat with 400, you get rid of it, and now when you paint it with base coat or clear coat, it'll look flat like glass, right? That's pretty cool. I actually plan to do that on my Highlander very soon. We're going to do all the moldings around it, the black plastic, we're going to make it gloss black, and that'll be in the VIP course as well. Can you do a flow coat on the car after 2 years of painting? Yeah, absolutely. Just make sure you clean it, sand it down with about 1,000 grit. You know, I would probably go maybe a little bit less, but I think 1,000 grit is good. And then you clear coat right over it. Home Depot, 60-gallon Husky, under 600. There you go. Jonathan, I got a 53 Ford F100. Do you recommend painting it in parts since there is a significant overlap of the fenders and the cab? Gonna paint it in the spring. Yeah, you could do that. Jonathan, you can do that. And I know what you're talking about. Just do it. If you're gonna do that, do it all at once. This way you're not mixing different batches of paint, because it might give you a little color difference. I don't recommend doing that if you're going to be doing a custom pearl paint job or candy, because you will see a difference in color matching. You know, when you're doing custom, when you're doing a lot of pearl or a lot of flake or candy, it's best to have everything put together as much as possible, and then you do it, because, you know, you can get everything as even as possible. So if you're doing cars in pieces, you want to do them, you know, with stock colors or metallic stock colors, and just plain clear coat, you know, unless you feel like you can do it. All right. Does the store have a website? Yeah. Well, our store right now is learnautobodyandpaint.com. I'll give you the URL here, /store shop. But we're launching a brand new store that it's going to be a totally different domain name, and it's going to be freaking awesome. I think you guys are going to love it. Love it. I'm really excited about it. I just want to get you guys the best stuff at, you know, good prices. So that's the shop page. You can check out the spray guns there. And also, for all you VIP guys who are not VIP, I'm doing a special sale until Saturday midnight. So you guys will want to check this out right here until Saturday midnight. That ends. So just check that out. If you're not VIP and you're curious about VIP, go ahead and check that out. All right. So thank you guys. I've been on a little longer than expected tonight. Give me a thumbs up. And I will see you on next week, same time. Yes, I will be getting into Ghost Flames, but that's kind of down the line. Right now it's cold. I'm not going to be painting for the next, 2 months or so, month and a half, depending on all that stuff. All right, guys, thank you so much. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't. Share it with your friends and family, and subscribe or whatever. You guys are already subscribers. And I will see you guys on next week. Thank you guys so much for getting on. And again, if you're not VIP, you want to check out VIP. We're doing a special sale at that link. Jump in, because it's a super deal until Sunday midnight. All right, guys? Pearl in the clear or pearl in the base coat? I talked about that about 15, 20 minutes ago, so double check that. You could do it both ways, but you're going to get a better coverage with the pearl in the clear coat. You're going to see more of a, more of a color shift and more of a difference. All right, guys? Butch, Tony said a few weeks ago he's planning to sell buffers. Yeah, we're going to be selling buffers. We're going to be selling compounds. So I'm in the middle of hooking up. Like, I'm actually paused buffing out my cars because I'm waiting to get this new product that I want to test out for buffing, the compounds and the buffing pads. We're throwing away wool pads. We're not going to be using wool pads anymore. It's all going to be foam pads. And this is something that I learned when I went to SEMA. Foam pads were good until they started. No, wool pads used to be good until they started making really good foam pads. And they have really good foam pads out there right now. And this is the stuff that I want to, use and I want to hook you guys up with. All right. Good night. Have a great time. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you on next week, Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central. Thank you, Butch. I appreciate it, buddy. Go here for the sale. You can non-VIP, guys, and become VIP. Have a great night, people. It was nice. It was beautiful seeing you guys. Thanks. Cheers. I can't find the good night, good night, good night.